We are live, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Photopedia. Today we have Mohit Goel. Divim sir, you are up. Cause today I'm just gonna enjoy the session. So today we have two moderators over here, Divim and Ujwal. Divim sir, you're good to go.
Okay. So hi guys, we have Mohit Goel with us today from Infinite Memories. Let me share a small story before we start with Mohit actually. So we met in 2016 first on Feb 2016, Mohit?
17.
And, yeah, 2016 I guess. So so that was the first time when I met Mohit. We stayed together in a bunker box in a hotel named Hollywood Hotel. So that was the first time we interacted together. He was just starting over that time with his new company, which is known as Infinite Memories now. And good to go 3 years down the lane, we are seeing him that he has actually climbed so many stairs up. And we love to know how that was done, Mohit. So let's go with you, all of you now.
So basically, this journey started in 2012. Again, I was a normal corporate guy working out there in Lucknow, and literally I was in depression that time because that was a toughest phase of my life. I was doing job but with no motive. Actually, I was working having no motive of what to do. I was just doing it and living it like on regular basis. So that day I decided to pick up the camera and everything changed. But over the period of time, it was good to learn. Like I was enjoying the photography and everything. Like for 2 years, it was really nice. Learning the photography, enjoying the photography and everything. But as soon as I entered the commercial side of it, things started to change. So the biggest challenges we faced during that time was that I got married. Okay, and that was the first year of Infinite Memories. So we had just formed a company 4 months back, and I got married, and things were really tough because I was working, managing this company, plus managing the married life. The toughest situation that time I faced was we don't have common topics to talk on. I think a lot of people may be able to relate this that we need to give time, right, to other person as well. But us samay it was really difficult because I was working 9 to 6 in the office, and then you come back to home and there's someone waiting for you who need your time, and then you need to do work. Like I used to shoot on the weekends, or sometimes I used to get leaves in between on those time intervals. But at the end, you need to work a lot and you need to learn a lot. So that was the learning phase, and you need to give time to the other person. So बहुत problem होती थी, and we used to fight a lot as well. So that was the toughest 1 year in my life after Infinite Memories was there. Eventually I decided that I think I need to bring her in my own business so that at least we have some common topics to talk on, because the major problem I faced was that we don't have topics to talk on. She was involved in her work, I was involved in my work, and we were lacking common topics. So she was working as an HR. So I persuaded her that at least we can come into my business. She left her job for that, and she started taking care of the queries section actually. So my half problem was solved, and not half, a lot of problem got solved from that. So basically, she was taking care of the client section, and also we had a lot of topic to talk. After that, there were other problems to face. For example, Infinite Memories, a lot of people won't be knowing it. Basically, we were three partners in Infinite Memories. Me and two other people were there when we started the company. So what happened in
Mohit, sorry to interrupt you. There is, I guess, there is an audio or mic problem. Do you have a headphone with you or earpods? If that can be done.
Let me check. Just a second.
Yeah, I guess people have some problem over YouTube.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are. There is. Sorry, Ujjwal.
Let me check. Just give me a second. and bringing the head.
So yeah, Divyam sir, till then please tell us about how the initiative of Photopedia came into mind, how it was started, like how you gathered all of us together.
All of us together is a very long story. But yes, Photopedia. So I saw a few of the YouTube videos over of the Western photographers. So one of them, what they used to do is they used to call model, one model in between, and all the four photographers used to shoot model for 15 different minutes. So I
Right.
thought, yes, we can do something
Uh,
creative like this and bring people together. So that was the first thing where I started. But there many things added up and came together. And how we met is a very long story. I'll tell you when I speak on live then. But today is Mohit. So Mohit, yes, can we check you
audible
audibly?
now?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's online now. Yeah, that's good. Mohit, can you just
Can
say
we do a
something?
mic?
Yeah, a mic test.
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, better.
So we started with three partners actually, but over the period of time,
Okay. Mohit, can you just adjust the mic input volume to 80%, not 100%?
is it okay now?
Yeah. Now you can just speak a bit louder. That will be perfectly fine.
Okay, fine. So what happened? Like we were three partners who started with Infinite Memories, but over the period of time, things were not going as we have planned about it. So what happened that I was pushing a lot, but other two partners were not putting that effort which was required to bring a company, like in the company basically. So it was me who was working alone, and a lot of problems were happening around. I tried to tell them what were the problems, but they were not paying attention towards that. They were actually in वो अपने अपने काम में बहुत ज्यादा इन्वॉल्व थे लाइक वन पर्सन वाज देयर हु वाज हैविंग हिज ओन जॉब another person who was already there in the industry so they were like कि ठीक है अपना काम चल रहा है as a freelancer but he was not putting the effort which was required in the company so it was in 2016 only when I met you guys before that I decided that this is a time when I should leave the other two partners who were not basically ready to bring in the business into the company and not giving that effort which is required, not even serious about the business. Because the biggest problem we face today is we have this fear of losing people. Losing people how? There are two ways. Like it can be your team member, it can be your colleague, it can be your partner, it can be anyone. So this is the biggest fear we have. और मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ा fear इसलिए था because I was learning that time. And the other person he was really experienced in the industry, and for me I was really banking on him. If he would be in the company, we would make it grow together. But for the last 2 years, he was not doing anything. From 2014, we started the company till 2016. Being he into the industry and being I into the job, I was expecting him to be the person to right, but it doesn't happen. So that year, I decided that I think it's the time that I should start myself, and I leave him there, and then I just moved on from there from that. So the biggest fear for me was कि अगर मैं किसी को छोड़ता हूँ and who was so much capable and I was not that much capable enough at that time, what would happen to Infinite Families? But I met you guys right there. So this is the biggest fear we have, that leaving the people and moving forward. If there's someone who is dragging you, who is pushing you back, and who is not letting you go ahead, you should talk to them first. You should talk to them, make them understand, because it's not easy to leave people. You should we grow to ready to grow. He's not ready to work with you. There's a time when you should leave people and you should move forward, because there are a lot of new people and good people there waiting for you to work with you, right? So that time I met you people, and then I started my journey from there onwards. So the third challenge I faced was like I was in job and a lot of problem were there, financial problem were there, but I was lucky enough because I was having my parents support that
Shant?
Yeah, I think there's some network issues over here. Guys, by the time that we sort this out, please be here, stay tuned, and we'll be just back. Okay, guys,
Tell me when you are dead live.
we haven't been able to
Okay,
sort
hi
out
guys.
the.
Hi guys, there is a technical error. Till we get Mohit back,
Hmm.
I'm there to answer any query of yours. Don't keep it related to business for now at least. So if there is any query which you think I can answer for you, just put it on the comment box.
Also,
Let's take this interesting.
let's talk with the people in the comment section
Yes, we love to answer it.
about anything and everything.
Till then we can ask them. So guys, how's the lockdown going on? How's how's the life being in lockdown? I hope you all are safe, and I hope these sessions are coming helpful to all of you. We'll try to make them more efficient in coming time. These network issues are a bit of problem these days, but we'll be solving them soon.
I think Mohit is here.
What is that?
Yeah, Mohit
What
is
is that?
back. Yeah,
What
Sorry
can we do a
guys.
mic test?
Yeah. Actually, there's some network issue out here, so it's getting disconnected.
no issues.
So, shall we continue?
Yeah, please. So Mohit, you can tell us about how you started your journey. Like Varun has asked this question: how you created a brand value USP. This is what you were telling us. So please
Yeah.
continue with that.
So basically, I will start from where I left it. What happened? I started this company with someone like I basically collaborated for the office, and that time I was managing my expenses at the same time because collaborating with someone because I'm not having that enough money at that time, and it helps you a lot, right? Because it's a way to start having an office on your own. There are a lot of expenses you need to make, specifically on the equipments and everything else. So that helps me a lot in that sense. But again, dependency. So this why I use word dependency, because when we are in this professional world, dependency should not be there. Because once you're dependent on someone, people take advantage of yours. Like they start thinking that you are dependent on them और आपका काम नहीं होता है, time पे नहीं होता है. They start giving you excuses, and you have fear again that अगर वो आपका काम नहीं करेंगे तो कौन आपका काम करेगा. And there you start losing it out. So again it happened there. तो वहां पर जो editors थे, they start thinking कि why should we do his work on time, and we are not committed to him, this and that. Even the person was not saying anything to the editor. So there I took a leap of faith, and with one editor I just moved out and I started my whole thing in 2017. It all started. So from there onward, there is no looking back, because from there onwards, I started getting people who are really good and who were really professional in their own work. Yes, you will get people who don't want to work the way you want to. So you need to understand their thing कि उनको क्या चाहिए क्या नहीं चाहिए, and accordingly things are happening now. So we are a good like family of 20 people, and we are good.
Great. Okay. So Mohit, what we'll do is we'll start with a question answer round. Actually, there are few questions which people have sent to us related to their queries, their problems which they are facing in business. They're in numbers. So let me put the first one, which came from Ronak Sharma. So he is saying that how to handle our team like a leader and not like a boss. What he wanted to tell is that he gets along with his team so much that many a times his team members also doesn't listen to him or doesn't do the work as he wants. So how can one become a leader and not a boss?
Okay. Yeah. Mohit
Is it
is
good?
here. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's getting disconnected, I think. Yeah, you were saying something different.
Yeah. Should I repeat my question?
Yeah, please.
So this question is from Ronak Sharma. He wanted to ask you that how to handle a team like a leader and not like a boss.
So basically, for this, I would like to say कि first of all, to be a leader, you need to lead from the front. Your employees should know whatever they are doing. You can do things better than them in a less period of time. So there is a story. I would like to give an example. One of my friend was in an army. Is in an army. So he told me कि जब वो पहली बार गया था, he was a lieutenant, and there was a like group of 52 people waiting for their uske command mein. But there were people who were like more than of his age, right? And being there, it was very difficult for him for them to take his orders, because एक नया बंदा आया है, and the people who have been serving the country from so many years, वो एकदम से उसके orders कैसे माने? So he told me कि what he did is उसने एक task assign किया, and he completed that task like in a less period of time than the other people. From that day, he said कि जितने भी लोग हैं, they are ready to give life for him on his one command. So you need to prove, right? Ki whatever you're doing, you're better than them. First thing. Second thing, they need to understand. Like the problem is, being a leader, you need to understand their problems, right? आपको उनकी सारी problems समझनी है, but at the same time, there are things which need to be there in the company, rules to be followed by everyone. आप फ्रेंड हैं, सब कुछ हैं, आप उनकी हेल्प कर रहे हैं, but there are some rules and regulations which are there, which need to be followed by everyone, which are for everyone, because discipline is mandatory. If you are breaking the discipline in the company and you have fear that आप उनको कुछ बोलेंगे नहीं बोलेंगे and they will move out, I think the person is wrong there. Because it is his or her responsibility as well to understand that whatever is happening in the company, he should abide by the rules, right? Your friend, you can help them personally, whatever to be done, but professionally, it's their responsibility as well.
Great. He also wanted to ask that many times he's very friendly with them, and the people over in his studio start taking him very leniently, and he cannot be very strict with them. So, without being strict,
Yeah,
can you suggest something that what he can do out of that?
there's no point of getting strict to anyone. See, there are rules, right? Every organization, every company runs on certain rules, right, which are for everyone. So those rules need to be laid there, right? And everyone who is coming to office need to abide those rules. So if you're not abiding them, the fear you might be having is, if I will say कि आपको ये करना है ना, आप ये नहीं कर रहे हो, is losing out people, right? This is the only fear you have, कि आप किसी को कुछ कह रहे हो and they will not agree to that. So I think अगर आप उनको बोल रहे हैं and they are not understanding it and they are taking you for granted, that is really wrong, because आज के time पे for granted तो आप किसी को भी नहीं ले सकते, and this is a professional world, right? There is no point of taking things for granted. You're working there, even you are working there, they are working there, so If they are not listening to you, you need to give them warnings and you need to take strict steps if required. Definitely, because that's a professional work.
Okay. I hope, Ronak, you have got your answer. If there is anything else you wanted to know, you can put it on the comment box. We'll go on with the second question, which is up in YouTube itself from Varun Kodalikar. I don't know why he has written, "You are his man." It's a leaving joke aside, but the question is talk about how you created a brand value, USP, and how you have created an equation with planners.
So it all started like we were working as per the taste of the clients we were seeing over the internet. You need to study a lot. We analyze a lot, right? What is happening around, like what kind of taste clients have, what is our taste, and then we try to mix it up slowly and gradually. It's not it is going to happen in a year, in a period of time. It takes a lot of time to create something which people like, right? It can be you, what you shoot, or it can be what general people like, right? Because everyone has their own taste in photography. So this happened over a period of time, and we analyzed what people like, what is our taste, and we mix it up. So this is how things goes up. And for the planners, I will say it is just the connection, right? You do with them, they like our work, the bonding on shoot. You need to communicate. So the major thing is you need to communicate. If you're communicating well, people are there. I think bond happen there itself.
So, if just adding to that part of the planner part, so if someone is not in the reach of planners till now, is there any platform where he can reach to planners and send his work or his or her work?
There are different ways. You can first of all you can try contacting them directly. But what I personally feel is the best way is when you are shooting a wedding, and the people out there is not just a planner. It can be a planner. It can be a decorator. It can be anyone. Like Harshin yesterday told itself. Even Adam told yesterday itself that caterers, makeup artists, planners, they communicate with them, right? There's a bonding you create together. You need to take care of them as well. They need it to them, right? Not with the intention that you are helping because you want a business from them. Even Lakshya said it a long time back, because I heard him saying this. We when we help someone, it comes to us automatically, right? We should not have intention that we are helping to get a business out of them. We should just help them because it helps them promote their work. So it's just the bonding.
Great. So Ronak is back with the question which I guess he wants to add upon. That do you also give personal session to your team?
Yes, this is very important training. So let me show you something which is like how things are divided. Just a second. So if you see this screen, this is the whole photography. If you have to divide it, this is the thing. So
Wait, time.
sorry.
Uh, yeah, good to go.
So this is the flow chart which I have for myself, because every step is very important when you
He's down again with the internet. Uh,
Always been scared of flowcharts. But okay, let me connect.
data management. Okay, just
Chand, any update?
no, not yet. He's still under the lag. He
Is
just
it due to complete lockdown in Gaza or something?
Mohit just left. I think he'll be rejoining us.
Guys, you can keep on sending your questions. As soon as Mohit comes back, we can ask him the questions. Till then, I can try answering it. Prashant can try answering that.
Yeah,
Ujjwal can do that.
definitely. We are back with a. It seems like we are more in a discussion, like you, me, and Ujjwal, and a discussion over here, panel discussion going on.
Yeah, it seems like we have to do that to kill time.
Uh,
So, Ujjwal, let me ask you. There is a question by Mehak. Uh, which software do you use for file sharing with the clients?
So for
Google
initial
Drive.
sharing, I'm using Eventilla. I send them personal galleries to that, and later on for the final full set storage, like full set sharing, I use Google like G Drive because most of the clients are very familiar with Google Drive and all that, so it's easier for them to download. But still, I'm considering going for Dropbox. So let's see.
Yes. So for us as Weddingrams, we take Dropbox as our first and final service also. So we provide the first set from Dropbox, the videos from Dropbox, and even the high resolution sets also from the Dropbox itself. We make one folder of the client in which all the things keep getting added up whenever the deadline comes near or whenever the things is completed.
That's
So
the same with me on Google Drive as well.
Google Drive,
But
yes.
the format, the how it looks, I feel Eventilla or other Pixie set are better to showcase the first set or initially.
We have Mohit back.
Yeah, Mohit is back now. See. Yeah.
So
Hi, Mohit.
I think this is the thing. So I would like to say that we need to keep ourselves trained, right? So training can happen in any format. Either they are, it's about sharing the information. So when teams sit together and they share something, we need to work over it. Like Harshin has told yesterday also again, they work together, right? If someone is getting something, they sit together and they share the information. So that's how you train your team. So whatever you get, you just save it, and whenever you sit together, you share it with each other so that uh, everyone learn together and we can work together with a common vision towards something.
So can you tell us more about this flowchart which you are sharing with us just now?
So basically, this is something which is very important right now. What most of the people are doing it, they are managing everything themselves or most of the thing themselves. They need to understand that this is, if you have to grow as an organization, every step mentioned here require one person dedicated to manage it. Because if you're managing two or three things, you cannot focus on what you are doing in one segment. For example, lead conversion, we need a person dedicated to talk to clients because major problems happen here in this section only. Lead, when we are talking to client, we need to understand what they require and what we want to give as an output, right? What is our taste, what is their taste, do we match in terms of taste? If we are taking a project, sometimes people take a project, even their taste doesn't match as per what client expectation is. So we should be clear about what client expectation is, because बाद में सबसे ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम यहीं पर आती है. If we are not setting the expectation right here and we are not talking to the client enough, then the problem occurs, right? Then the second is initiating conversation with the client. Once the lead is converted, we need someone to talk to the client in order to understand what kind of output they are looking for in a detailed manner, right? You cannot do it once the thing are done, when you have shot everything, right? You need to understand their requirement beforehand. आपने shoot कर लिया, सब कुछ कर लिया, and then they are saying something, you cannot do anything because you have already shot it, right? So then you need to have someone who can understand their requirement here itself, and then the team management happens, right? You know why, what is the expectation of the client, what kind of taste they have, what kind of video they are looking for or pictures they are looking for. Accordingly, you can manage your team, which person is best suited for their taste, right? What is like what kind of video they are looking for. You have different team members. who shoot which kind of video, right? There are different people who have different tastes. So here team management occurs. And this section is important because you need to keep training your team, plus you need to keep building your database. Because what happens is at time people join you, they learn from you, but they have whole right to move forward because they have some everyone has some plans, right? You cannot stop people being with you for always. You can try that they can be with you, but if they have plans they can move forward. In that, this database helps you. When you have no one and you need to hire a person, you have a database of shortlisted people. You can get them on board in a very less time, basically. And then the shoot management, we need a person specifically to manage and talk to client at the shoot, so that you can work properly. If you're managing client, you're talking to the client, it's good, but at the same time it's someone to copy the data also, right? So shoot management. Again, then data management. I think Tarun has explained it very beautifully that day, how to manage your data. And for that, you need specifically one person who is managing the data and not doing anything else except managing the data. And then delivery management again, you can divide it into photos, videos, and album. And for videos again, they're like, as Anand has said that day, that you need to have checks how you can manage the checks at delivery management. When they are videographers, it is the primary duty of the editors to check the video at the primary stage who are making it. That's the first check. Then at the second check, there is one person who is leading the team of video, right? There one person who is the lead cinematographer or editor, you can say. You need to assign that responsibility to someone to have the second check. And the third check is by you yourself. So when it comes to you, it is already refined, right? You don't need to look again and again at what are the basic mistakes happening at the first stage. So these checks help you in getting the video already refined when it reaches you. And if there's something which you want to incorporate, you can incorporate, and it reduces the effort again and again. And then closure of the project. In this whole thing, there's one person, if you can see on the right, is client relationship manager. This person is very important. Why? Because if you are letting your editors directly talking to the client, the problem happen is they cannot focus on the work because there are a lot of problems which comes in. There's a person required to sort them out. So if this person is there who can be a bridge between your editing team and the client to understand their requirement, their problems, and to talk to them and then convey it to the editors and get it sorted, the process become very smooth, right? So you need to sort it out. So this person holds a very important role in any company, because this person uh, keep communicating with the client. The major problem which we face is client communication was very weak in the last year, which we have felt. So we are going to refine it this year, so that there is very less gap between the client and us. And then again, the closure of the project. So this person is responsible for pushing for the closure of the project. And this is how you basically divide your whole segment. And you need to understand where you are lacking. If you divide it this way, this helps you to understand which is the major part where problem lies in your organization, and then you can improve it.
Thank you, Mohit. That was really informative. I've taken a screenshot of this. This will be really helpful for taking ahead. I assume this goes good with a company which has around 10 to 15 people. Do you want to also suggest people who are just starting that what can they do if they cannot hire so many people to do different things? How can they actually manage things with less number of people?
Yes, definitely. See, first of all, the most important thing you need to understand is where your problem lie. If even if you're having less people, you need to have a control of the number of shoots you are doing. Because if you're doing more number of shoot and you are having less team, then that's a problem. So once you need to first have the backbone ready. The backbone of any team is the backend, right? You can anytime increase your volumes or your work, but if your backend is not ready to support it, your front end will crash at the end of the day. So if you have less number of people,
Yes, sir.
have have the
Okay.
shoot. You're saying something? Devin?
Yes, I can hear you well.
So if you have less number of people, you need to divide accordingly. Like जितने भी लोग हैं, according to the number of shoot you're taking, you need to divide the responsibility. It's all there. Like number of volume, you cannot increase the number of volume that time.
Great. So guys, I hope you have taken a screenshot of that flowchart. These are all the procedures which Mohit follows in his team. These are all the things which have to be targeted differently. So wherever required, if there is any other question which you want to ask related to flowchart, you can put it in our comment box. Else we are moving to the next question. Are you ready, Mohit?
I want to say one thing
Okay.
here, guys. Whatever I am, whatever I'm telling here, this may or may not go with other people as well, because this is something which is working for us. We have been trying to do this. If it is just I would say take whatever you want, which suits you, because this is suiting us. It may or may not suit you as well, right? So this is what working for our company.
Perfect. I guess that's clear in the first part. But yeah, so we'll go on the second question, which is very. We got this question from 2, 3 people actually, and which is very good for this time, which we are going through lockdown and coronavirus. How to make investments, or how much saving one should do, keeping in mind for the future.
I think we lost him again.
Yeah, we did.
Whenever I asked the question, we lost. Okay, till then I can answer a question which is asked by Pavel Kumar on our YouTube channel. What is the best way to promote your company? Pavel, there are many ways you can promote your company. There is nothing best or least. But for us, what we do is uh, the first thing is we promote ourselves on Instagram. We have a full-fledged website where we put our blogs. We are also connected with 2 or 3 different wedding portals. Where so wedding portals is a good thing to be applied upon. Why? So um, because there are many brides which are coming through, which are following those pages. Many prospective brides or prospective grooms are following those pages. So being there is a very good thing for promoting yourself. And the best thing which I'll say is the word of mouth. So if you're doing good work, if you are keeping your client happy, like Mohit told, I guess that is the best thing to do. There's next question by Ayush Agarwal. If anyone wants, if anyone of you wants to answer, Mohit, are you there?
Yeah, Mohit isn't here.
No. How to market yourself, and do you think wedding portal helps? Yeah. So Ayush, I guess I answered that. Should I hire someone for this? Ayush, it depends on how much workload you can take on yourself. As Mohit told, everything is categorized in different ways, and you can put people specialized in that category. If you want to, else if you can do it yourself, that's great. We are waiting for Mohit to come back. There has been technical problems over here. We are really sorry for that. If this is not possible, what we can do is Prashant. I would
Yeah.
suggest we can take a Zoom session differently with Mohit, with whenever he's good with internet, and we can post that online. Will that do?
Definitely, we can do that.
Yeah, we can do
Yes.
that.
Yes. So guys, you can send us your questions, whichever you want to ask from Mohit, and we'll see for next 5 minutes if everything goes well. We'll continue. Else we'll put a
Though
video for you
Mohit is
separately
back
over
here.
YouTube.
Mohit is back here with
are you
us.
there?
Yeah, internet is pretty bad today. I don't know why.
No issues. It happens. Yeah. Mohit, so we have a question. Does hiring people from companies like all these mass communication colleges or Asian Institute and like in Noida and all, does it work? Have you ever tried hiring people from MAC and these mass communication institutes?
Basically, I have not done that yet, but yes, it does definitely help. But there's a few things which need to be taken into consideration. When you hire people, you need to train them. Specifically, when you're hiring people from this, you need to invest a lot of time and things in your training. So, are you ready to give them that time? Because if you're burdening them with the pressure of work you are getting, that's not good as well, right? Because they don't
Right.
have that much of knowledge as of yet. They are there to understand into the situation and learn. So for that, you need to be ready with your main team and then hire those people so that they can get time to understand the environment and what is going to be there for them and take the responsibility accordingly in the upcoming time. So there is no need of pressurizing them. So this is how you can hire them. But I have not done yet because we were in the situation where we need people who can just deliver, who can just start delivering from the next day. So we have hired people who have knowledge, experience in the industry. That's what we have done till now.
Alright. So Mohit, I'll come back with the same question again, which you missed actually. So there are two, three people who ask the same question: how to make investment, how much one should keep saving for such times or problems, or of thinking that how to make his business go up a level.
I think I missed that again. There's some problem in the same question. It's getting disconnected
Yeah, I
again.
asked a question, then only you missed.
Yeah, please.
No, I'll do it again. So, how to make an investment,
Uh-huh.
or how much one should be saving for keeping future in mind, or keeping such things in mind, which is going just now.
See, this is a very important thing, guys. जब भी हम लोग एक कंपनी स्टार्ट करते हैं, we need to think one thing, that we need to have a fund in our account, because if you are running a company from hand to mouth basis, you are not running a company. You are not taking care of the people who are joining you. So you need to have at least 3 to 4 months of the fund of whatever your capacity is, like your team size is, of your monthly expenses, so that you can cater for the problems. Not just this, at times there may be situation you should be ready for, like we don't have work because of XYZ reason. So these people are banking on you, right? So you should have that much of amount in your account that if something happens, you can support them because they're supporting you. So this is a very important thing which most of the people don't do. I also started from 1 month salary, like basically getting 1 month of the whole expense, and then gradually increase that, because it will take a lot of time to increase it. But try to have at least minimum of 6 months of salary, 3 to 6 months of salary. It is going to help you a lot in gaining confidence कि अगर कोई भी problem होती है, you can give them the salary. So this literally increase your confidence.
Nice. There is another question on YouTube. Do you believe in investing in wedding portals? Will they help you in long run?
It all depend person to person. Yes, I do believe investing in wedding portals can help you, but again, you need to analyze your business. Don't go by someone words ki karna sahi hai ya nahi hai. You need to be very analytical about it. Every person work very differently, right? So a lot of wedding portals are working for some people, and for like बहुत सारे लोगों के लिए it is not working. So don't go by like, if it is not working for that person, it won't work for you. You need to be there. You need to try at least, and you need to analyze your thing. uh, how your place, what type of client you are getting. काम नहीं मिल रहा है तो क्यों नहीं मिल रहा है? What are the reason behind it? So you should try. Yes, definitely.
Okay. Um, which software do you use for managing your team? Do you use a software first of all?
No, I don't use any software. I was in the process of building it, but unfortunately, I was not able to make it because it was requiring a lot of time. But yes, currently we are using the Google spreadsheets only, and we are doing it on that.
Okay. So how much? Okay. So this comes back to the question what Varun asked. Being a brand, how much having an office makes a difference, and what all are the pros and cons? Many pros of it.
Yes, office makes a lot of difference, right? Because when you go to office from home, you feel a lot. First of all, you feel professional, right? एक अच्छा feel आता है. आप office में जा रहे हो, अच्छी vibes आती है. You meet a lot of new people out there. You have an environment. It creates a lot of impact on your brain when you're working. You have an environment. You have people around. एक aura बनता है. So that is very important for your professional growth. So office is very important in terms of your own growth as a professional. Plus, whenever a client comes to your office, it gives you a very different feel. For example, let me tell you, So our last office was basically a 2 room set. So whenever a client used to come, he used to be like, "अच्छा आपका घर है, आपके घर में ही office है." So it gives you them an impression that हाँ हम लोग घर से ही काम कर रहे हैं, and they sometimes feel कि we may not be that professional, right? And but when you have an office, they see that yeah, people are working in a very professional environment. So this create a very different impression on your clients and on your employees as well.
Okay. So we have three great questions coming on YouTube for you. Varun saying he loves the tonality in your photos. Does all of that happens in house, or do you also outsource them?
Sorry, I missed it. Can you come again with me?
Sorry. So Varun is asking you. He loves the tonality in your photos. Do all of that happens in house, or do you also outsource that work?
No, nothing get outsourced. We are doing everything in house, and we are training people. That's a very important part of it. So everything is getting in house only. We are not giving anything for editing outsource. We are not outsourcing anything.
Anubhav is asking you that how to market our work and get more clients.
So marketing again, you need to analyze. Like, see, people are not analyzing a lot of things. Like, what kind of people are watching their work? What kind of so this is a very important thing. Why you are into wedding photography? When it comes to marketing, what kind of clientele you are targeting? People lack a lot of basically people face a lot of problem in this. Why? Because they want to be something, they follow something, and they are catering a different clientele altogether. So you need to understand आपका clientele है क्या. For example, let me give example of you and me only. So you have a very different clientele, right? Which love a very different kind of work, and my clientele is very different. Why? Because you want your client to be educated about what you want to show them, right? And you have over a period of time educated them that this is what art is, or this is what I want to show, right? Not art. You need to educate your client. So before marketing, try to see what your forte is. आपको किस टाइप का क्लाइंट चाहिए, एंड देन टारगेट दैट क्लाइंट. सो आपके काम में वहीं पर क्लोजअप्स भी हैं, वाइड एंगल्स भी हैं. वी आर गेटिंग अ मिक्सचर ऑफ इट. बट आपके क्लाइंट को क्या पसंद है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो अकॉर्डिंगली यू शुड टारगेट.
Okay. Do you want to suggest any of to Anubhav itself? Do you want to suggest any portals or way or any other method where he can market?
See, I won't say Redmi is a bad portal to basically get a work from. A lot of people have benefited from it. Even we get benefited from it in our initial days when we were there. But it all depends again. Is your client out there on that portal? You need to see that. क्या आप जिस क्लाइंट को टारगेट कर रहे हो वहां पर है या नहीं है? आर यू गेटिंग इनफ पीपल फ्रॉम इंस्टाग्राम? So you can work on your Instagram, your website. If you're not getting the footfall there, then you can start targeting the portals. First, try to understand what your client is, what kind of client you are targeting. Are you sure about the client you're targeting? उसके बाद see कि आपको कहाँ target करना है. Either your Instagram or any portal. Investment doesn't come easy. So before investing, think a lot of time where you're investing and for whom you're investing.
Okay. So Anubhav, I hope you have got your answer from Mohit. If there is any particular personal question you want to ask, I guess he can message you on Infinite Memories.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. So we have another question from Studio Green Apple. He asks you that how to differentiate between photography packages in terms of final output and services.
First of all, there can't be any package. I feel every client has very different requirement. You cannot distinguish them in packages. हर client का अपना एक requirement है, and accordingly you need to make package for them. What is their requirement? So I think this is the answer for that.
So Divist and Varun are backing you up that you make that software, they'll be helping you out.
Definitely.
Okay. Kshitij from Senecar Production is asking that what is your projection about the wedding industry after COVID-19 ends up?
Yeah, everything is going to start the way it was. मतलब there is like हमारी industry में there won't be any recession for sure. People are just waiting to get married because a lot of weddings have been hold up right now. So you just brace yourself.
Okay. So we'll come back to our questions which we have got before. What is one main thing which a person should keep in mind for the first client meeting?
First client meeting is the very important thing you need to keep in consideration is try to know your client then and there itself. When you're talking to client, he is coming out there and he is meeting you. आप कौन से फेज में है? It is the first meeting. उससे पहले have you talked over the call? Has been there any negotiation, or that's the first meeting altogether where you are showcasing your work, right? So that's very important to understand.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mohit.
Yeah.
We'll divide this question into two.
Yeah.
So what happens if you have a meeting? I assume that you have many international clients also whom
Yeah.
you don't meet.
Yeah.
How do you tackle these phone meetings and how do you tackle the first personal meeting if you have Indian clients over here?
So when we are doing a personal meeting, first of all, whatever we have, whenever we have meeting, first meeting like personal meetings in office, we showcase everything what client want to see. Like you need to showcase them the work what you have done and what kind of wedding they are going to have. So showcase them. Don't showcase all the just the destination wedding. Or showcase them what kind of wedding they're having, night wedding, day wedding, so that their taste can match. And you're setting the expectation then and there itself, right? And after that, अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट दे आर लुकिंग फॉर. सो वहां पर आपको बहुत अच्छा इंप्रेशन मिल जाता है whether a client is interested in you or not. So if now the things basically come down to the cost. So वहां पर आपका डिसीजन है whether to take the project or not, because client is interested or not. आप वहीं पर सब कुछ आपको आइडिया लग जाता है when they see your work. You get a hint about it. And when you're talking over the call, client आपके पास पूरी स्टडी करके आ रहा है ऑलरेडी, ठीक है. Client has already shortlisted. So there you can just showcase them the work. You can give the link of the work, and you can follow up them basically 2 or 3 times. And if they come back to you, just explain them each and everything. If there is anything written in your guidelines, whatever, discuss in detail. This is the problem which people don't do. They have a fear कि अगर हम डिस्कस करेंगे क्लाइंट चला जाएगा, उसको ये पॉइंट बुरा ना लग जाए, वो पॉइंट बुरा ना लग जाए. Instead of facing it later, why not to discuss it upfront? It's all setting the expectation there, then and there, actually.
So, Mohit, any tips on closing the deal soon? Like when the client comes in a meeting, is it okay if we ask him, "Ki sir, if you book me right now, we'll be giving you an additional like 20,000 or 50,000 rupee discount." So does that work? Does the client get offended at times, or like does it work?
First of all, Prashant, let me tell you one thing. When it comes to business, there are nothing right and wrong. There is, because everyone has their own way of working. Some set can work for you, some set can work for someone else. So there is no right and wrong, and no one feel offended because you are offering them something. For example, आप कहीं जाते हैं, कुछ सामान लेने जाते हैं, आप किसी स्टोर पे जाते हैं, तो एट टाइम्स इट हैपेंस ना कि आपको वहां पर जो भी बंदा आपको चीज दिखा रहा होता है, ही से कि अगर आप अभी ले लेंगे तो आई विल गिव यू दिस मच डिस्काउंट, एंड यू आर टेम्प्टेड टू बाय दैट थिंग कि आपको उस समय वो डिस्काउंट मिल रहा है, लेट्स डू इट, परचेज तो करना ही है, एंड वी लाइक इट, सो व्हाई नॉट. So yes, there are different tactics in business, and you, if it suits your business, it's okay. No one feel offended for anything actually in this.
Okay. So we'll come to a practical question over here now. Can I know, Mohit, how many weddings do you do in a year?
We do around 50 to 60 weddings in a year right now.
50 to 60 weddings. Okay. Okay. So I assume 60 weddings. So there are 60 long videos, 60 trailers, and then 60 sets of photos. And how many albums do you provide to each?
So basically, we provide 2 albums in the package.
So that is around 120 albums to be made.
Yeah.
So can I know how do you divide these work so that they end up on the deadline or before the deadline between your team? How do they follow that? Now they have to do this thing. Now they have to do this thing. How to manage that?
So team management बहुत बहुत important है. Team management में we have divided our team in 2 segments. One team which shoots and edit both, and one team which just edit. So this is very important. If you have people who are shooting and editing both, definitely आपका time deliverable सब सही time पे नहीं होगा. और आपका if you are having people who are just shooting and you have people who are editing, then you have things in place. So when we assign, how we assign is whenever, for example, there are project happening in October, we have 5 projects in October. तो already जो हमारे main editors हैं who are not shooting actually, we assign 1 or 2 projects each to each of them. And we have like November के भी जो हमारे project already lined up हैं, we already have given project to them, because what happened is at times कभी delays होते हैं from client side, from your side, so you don't want कि आपका काम delay हो. So already things are lined up, it has been scheduled, it has been given to them, and we manage it that way.
Oh, okay. So Varun is back. He's making us laugh, but okay. He's asking you that you have worked with many people in the industry, including the 3 sitting in the moderatorship over here. So, as a brand owner, do you let your freelancer have a free hand, or are there some strict directives? Ujjwal, would you like to answer this one?
Yes, yeah, sure. So I've worked with Mohit couple of times, so I don't think there are any strict directives that he gives. He just wants like to treat his like infinite memories client as our own clients and work as we do. So that's
Prashant, do you wanna extend something to it?
Okay, so it's like the coverage has to be done completely. He knows what his client actually wants and what the client actually deserves. So he makes sure that that is covered, and then post that you have a total free hand. Whatever you wish to do, you are just all up. That's it.
yeah, you need to make sure couple shots are there. That's one thing.
Good cover shots.
So, what you know now, if you are applying to Mohit, you know what all has to be done. Send your queries to contact us at infinitememories.com. We'll go ahead with the next question. There are 2 of them left with us. If anyone wants to ask any other question, please put up on this statement itself. So, what's your plan of coming future taking pandemic in mind?
Currently, we are working. First of all, we are working on our skill sets right now, because this is the best time. It has been 2 years from the time I have been into this. I was not able to work on the skill set, so I have asked my teammates, all the teammates, to work on their skill sets, because once this thing is over, we won't be able to get time to brush the skill sets. So this is the best time to do it, right? And we have everything in place, and we are trying to refine our process in the meantime, so that once things come up, we are ready for them. And how much we have to intake, we are ready for that as well. We have already defined kitna kaam karna hai, kitna nahi karna, because things are going to come really fast. So you have to be ready about how many weddings you have to do, किस तरीके से करनी है, and which person has to do what. So we are just getting everything in place right now.
Okay. There is another Divyam on YouTube, not me, but Divyam Chopra is asking you that what was the turning point for Infinite Memories?
Okay.
So meeting us is different, but
to be honest, there was basically one wedding which we did in Indana Palace. So for that, I think that was a turning point for us. Everything changed from there, then and there. So for that wedding, I went out to Jodhpur, all the way to Jodhpur to meet the client, and yeah, that like we did the first pre-wedding in Thailand, and from then and there, it changed everything for us. We start getting more and more clients like that, and yeah, it happened.
So a good question comes over here from our side itself that if someone wants to try over for the international weddings, is there anything special he can do for that?
See, I think one should just wait for an opportunity, right? The like we were also waiting for an opportunity that we did that first pre-wedding, not even the wedding, in Thailand, right? After that, we got one query for the wedding which we all did together in Thailand. That was the first wedding. So that client was not looking for an international wedding which we have done. They were happy about our work, and they hired us for that. And after that, we start getting more international weddings. But wait for the client who like your work, who want to hire you for your work. and because everyone comes to you, even in India, that have you done a wedding at this place, at this location or not? So people judges you by that. A lot of people judge you by that, whether you have done wedding there or not, and then they give you the work. But there are a lot of people who like your work, so just wait for that opportunity. It will definitely come your way if your work is getting good. So basically, you need to work a lot on your skill sets and your basically what kind of work you want to showcase to your client. Once that is set, client will definitely come to you.
So a very good question coming over it is from Deepshika. How long did it take you to get that break?
I think 2 years,
2 years?
2.5 years.
That's great. So Deepshika and Divyam both, Divyam Chopra, it takes 2 to 3 years for getting to that level to
No, it
make your
doesn't. That time, it is just took us that time. It's totally like we were also finding ourselves in that period. You just need to find yourself. So totally up to you.
And I believe
Agree, bro.
Mohit was continuously working for that time to come. So he wasn't just waiting for it; he was actually working for it, which is
So we
really
have
important.
one last question which is left from our side. Then we'll see if someone come ask you on YouTube, which we have asked from almost all our speakers. Where do you take inspiration from?
Uh, there are a lot of people we take inspiration from, but basically we are taking inspiration from which are non-wedding work right now. Earlier we started watching people around us. It can be Divyam, Asheen, Siddharth, Naman, a lot of people who works with you, right? But then we realize that what we are seeing is we are doing the same stuff again and again. To break that, you need to get inspiration from the world around. It can be street, it can be fashion. First, try to see what kind of work you love. You love fashion, you love street. What kind of vision you have? It is not necessary that you like wide shorts. It may be that you like close shorts. Then see more of fashion, right? It helps you a lot. So take inspiration from which is non-wedding, basically anything non-wedding.
Okay. So thank you, Mohit. These are all the questions which one we wanted to ask you, and thank you guys for coming over again. Tomorrow we have with us Snigdha from Phototantra. She'll be joining us tomorrow at 8 p.m. itself. Hope to see you all over there. Prashant, all over to you now.
Yeah. Alright, guys. Adios. See you. Bye byes and good night.
And thank you, Mohit, once again. Thank you for being with us. That was really great. Varun is still making jokes on us. Varun, I also take inspiration from everyone sitting over here, even from you. I like to see what all shoe collection do you have. But thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ujjwal. See you all tomorrow. Thank you. Prashant, you can cut it down.